Yo, welcome back 2023. Let's get started. Vikram Deol here. I am actually sitting in a hotel room in Santiago, Chile. This is now the third country I've been in the last 90 days. And a lot of people, right, I get a lot of questions from friends and family. I get questions, dude, you're 41. Actually, as of yesterday, January 1st is my birthday. You're 41 years old. You're traveling the world. You're not married. Right? You don't have a house. You don't have a place with a permanent address. Like, what are you doing with your life? Right? What are you doing with your life? And that's a great question to start out 2023 with is, what are you doing with your life? Right? Because to me, this has been a dream for 10 years, right? Being able to travel the world, being able to have a computer and a laptop and a little camera, a couple of microphones, and travel the world and impact people, but impact myself is something that I've always wanted to do, right? I've always thrived on difficult situations. And let me tell you, living in hotels, living in Airbnbs, living out of suitcases, just traveling in different countries is a challenge, right? Like the things that you're allowed to do internationally change from what you're allowed to do nationally on flights. I was allowed on the flight from Buenos Aires to Patagonia, but when I was flying inside the Patagonia on the same airline, they're like, no, your luggage is too heavy. Thank God I made some friends with some people, right? We worked it out. They said, hey, if you need to put some stuff in our suitcase, I lent them my socks earlier in the day because we were going to the Penguins and their daughter didn't bring warm socks. I brought an extra pair just in case. I gave them my socks. They gave me some room in their suitcase. And this is how the world works, right? This is how the world works. They happen to be in front of me. Good karma because I was a good person, right? I saw the family struggling. The daughter didn't have any socks. It was hilarious. We're outside. It's starting to rain. And she's like in these tennis shoes. And the family was like, what did you think we were doing? Like, you know what type of family we are. Like, you thought we were going to go for a little hike in Patagonia? Like, come on. Your mother wants to hike 12 hours a day, freezing cold, snow, sleet, rain. You thought we were going for a little hike? And me being like, the preparer that I am, I had extra socks, extra clothes, right? I had gloves, right? I had all the things necessary. And I was like, here, take my socks. The next day, right, on the way home, the dad's like, hey, I'll give you like $30 and I'll just keep the socks. I'm like, nah, bro, I need the socks. Like, I'm in the cold. Like, I need the socks. He's like, well, they're dirty. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. He's like, well, can I at least pay to get them washed? I'm like, what, $3, $2? Like, nah, dude, keep it. Life is round. I'm sure I'll see you guys again. And if not, like, who cares? And then the next day, that's exactly what happened. They were there to help out. I ended up chatting with them the whole time. It was super cool, right? And this is what these are the moments that are allowed when you put yourself outside of your comfort zone. When you say, hey, I'm going to do tough things, you meet other cool people. Right? That's just how the world works. And so this last 90 days, 60 of it I was with Cody. The last 2 weeks I've been alone. You force yourself into situations that are uncomfortable, right? Getting online, talking to a camera, talking to a blank lens is weird. I don't have a desk in this hotel room, so I'm sitting on the nightstand doing this video, right? Like, we just adapt. That is what's great about getting out of your comfort zone. So when people say, why are you doing this? Is because this has been one of the greatest self-development journeys ever, right? Like, just how do you do the things that you do? How do you run a business? How do you work with hiring? How do you work with employees? How do you work with people when you're across multiple time zones? They have no idea where you're ever at. They have no idea what time zone you're at. Now my new challenge in Patagonia or in Santiago, Chile, is my cell phone doesn't work. I have no Wi-Fi. I have no reception. This hotel, the Wi-Fi sucks, right? Like, they have a network issue. We figure it out, right? Like, so now I'm going to figure out how to get to a co-working space. Does the co-working space stay open long enough that I can run my mastermind group, right? Because that's on West Coast time. I'm 5 hours ahead, right? Like, so you just figure out all these things. And when I had workers, right? When I had workers that would be like, oh, we have 2 or 3 different internets. I'm like, why would you guys, I get it, internet's weird, but why do you guys have like your regular and then a backup and then a backup to the backup and my cell phone and this and that? Now I get it, right? Things just don't work the same, even in big cities like Santiago, Buenos Aires, Medellin, like Cartagena, like things just don't work the same, right? Your cell phone doesn't work the same. But yet people want great things in life, but they want to do everything easy. It doesn't work that way, right? Even in manifestation, right? I had a manifestation coach and she said, Vikram, once you put it out in the ether, you got to start to do the work. And I'm like, but I thought manifestation things just happen. Yes, they happen when you do the work. How fast do you want it to happen, right? How fast do you want to make $1 million in your new business? I'm like, well, pretty fast. She's like, well, then you got to do a lot of work. If you want it slow, it could take 10 years. If you want it fast, it could take 2 years. If you want it super fast, it might be day and night every day for a full year. What do you want? And I was like, oh, yeah. You got to do the work. Oh, okay. If you want a great relationship, you got to put in the work. You can't just get the girl, get the guy, and then boom, you're done. You got to do the work, right? If you want to build an amazing company with amazing culture and amazing employees or team members, guess what? You got to put effort into them. You can't just hire them and then ignore them and then expect for them to love you and do the work. I got a message from an old team member, right? She moved on to a new company and she sent me, we haven't talked in 3 months, and she sent me a message for my birthday, Happy New Year. And she says, I still miss you. I'm so glad that you're still on my feed. I'm glad she didn't block me. My old version would have blocked her, right? My old version would have blocked her. But my new version is like, no, she moved on. Like, that's what you want, Vikram. You want to grow people. And if they move on, or if you guys outgrow each other, or the role doesn't work anymore and you can't put her in another role, right? Then you have to let them go with love, just like you brought them in with love. And you got to wish the best for them. And even though we haven't talked in many months, like, I could feel the love in her message. And I was like, God, that feels great. Like, that feels so good to me, right? That feels so good to me. Like, this is an evolution, right? So how are you going to evolve in 2023? What are the things that you need to do? Let's talk about some goals, right? Everybody wants to set intentions in 2023. I'm going to have this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this my best year ever. New me, new you, this, that. It's all nonsense, right? Like, new year, new you. No, it's not. You're still the same person you were last year. You're still saying, I wish I was making more money. I wish I was making more videos. I wish my brand was better. I guarantee you 95% of people are still saying the same thing. So why aren't we doing it? It's because resolutions don't mean shit, right? Let's just be honest. Resolutions don't mean anything. What we need to do is we need to set intentions and commitments, right? I am committed to X. I am committed to Y. I am committed to Z, right? You might fall off the train, but if you make that long-term 10-year commitment, you will stay on it, right? I've fallen off the train to drinking. I'll tell you, I'm honest. I've fallen off the train to drinking. I was doing great 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months, and then I started drinking again. And I hate it. But I know that in 10 years, I will be able to say, I haven't had a drink of alcohol in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. And I know that sometimes I get weak and I fall off, but I know my long-term vision with alcohol, right? What is your long-term commitment and vision with yourself, right? What kind of body do you want to have, not tomorrow, but in 10 years, right? And forget the body. Let's think about, what do you really want, right? Do you want confidence when you take off your shirt? Do you want stamina when you go on vacation, you can keep up with your kids? Do you want the ability to not wake up with pain and aches? What is it that you really want? And how do we get that, right? Because I don't love to go to the gym all the time. Like, I like the results of the gym and it's part of my lifestyle. So I just don't miss the gym, right? I push myself hard in the gym. I want to get better every day. I don't want to be 50 years old and have the testosterone of a 97-year-old woman, which I've had before. It's not fun. It's not fun having erectile dysfunction and having a hot little woman in your bed that loves you, that you want to be in a relationship with, but she's like, Vic, if we can't fuck at least once in a while, I can't be in this relationship, right? So what kind of health do you want? And that moment on, right, after my depression, a lot of different things happen, different podcasts, right? I started to really focus in on my health. And one of the things that I had to realize is that the outside doesn't create the inside, right? So just because you look healthy doesn't mean you are healthy, which means you got to do blood work, right? You got to do it regularly. You got to do a lot of different tests, right? You got to get committed. You got to listen to podcasts on health and food and sugar and processed things, right? That was a commitment I made that when I'm 40, I'm going to be healthier than I am at 35. When I'm 50, I'm going to be stronger than I am at 40. And every day that commitment just stays there, right? Long-term vision, right? I want to inspire others to become healthy. So I'm going to post my workouts. I'm going to post my struggles. I'm going to post my food, right? I'm going to talk about why I do the carnivore diet. I'm going to talk about why I don't believe that what you're being fed in the media is true about food, right? I think veganism is a very slippery slope because most people don't do it right. Just like most people don't do carnivore right because they don't study it. It's like, oh, this sounds cool. Let's jump on the fad. So let's talk about long-term commitments. So the first thing is let's create the life we want. If you think about what do you want in 10 years, right? If you go 10 years from now and you think about what kind of life do I want, right? Not the cars, but what does a car make you feel, right? Because at the end of the day, houses and cars, watches and clothes, they're status symbols. They're all status symbols, right? It's all status. So do you want status? And if you do, why do you want status? What are you missing out on that you feel like you need status in your life? What are the things that you want that you don't have internally that we can work on for the next 10 years? Maybe they come faster, right? Maybe they can be faster. Maybe for you, it's if you start to work out, you lose a little bit of weight, you feel more confident, and then you're like, I really don't need the gold Rolex anymore. I wanted the gold Rolex when I was feeling fat and insecure, but now that I have a strong body and a strong mind, and I've made the commitment to doing 10 burpees a day, I made the commitment to going to the gym 5 times a week, right? And I've done it for 90 days, 120 days, 150 days, 180 days, 210 days, 240 days, a year, 2 years. Now the gold Rolex isn't like such a big deal. You're like, I'm good. I'm chilling. So what are the commitments, right, that we need to make? Well, what kind of lifestyle do I want financially, right? Do you want $1 million? Do you want to be a millionaire because you want to be rich and buy a bunch of shit? Or do you want to be a millionaire because of the safety and security it gives you, right? Those are the questions that I want you to ask. Why do you want the money? Why do you want the money? Not I just want to be rich, but why do you want a certain dollar amount? What will it make you feel inside, right? What kind of business do you want in 10 years from now, right? Like you're going to have to do work. You're going to have to prospect. You're going to have to become a salesperson. You're going to have to learn a bunch of skills. You're going to have to do a lot of that stuff. But what kind of business do you want in 10 years, right? Not next week, in 10 years. It makes it easier to do the work if you think of a 10-year plan. What kind of relationship do you want in 10 years with your friends, your family, with God, with source, right? Whatever you believe in. What kind of relationships do you want in 10 years? Why? How will it make you feel? That's the question you got to ask. How will I feel if I had those relationships with X, Y, and Z in 10 years? When we start to ask those questions, things change. So let's get clear, right? Let's get clear. What do you want out of your life? That's the most important question you can ask yourself. What do you want out of your life? Once we know what we want out of life, right? Once we know what we want for our life, what our purpose is, then the second step is like, who's already got that? Who's already done that? Who's got the great relationships? Who's got the great businesses? Who's got the great sales, right? Who's got the great mindset? Who are the people that I can emulate and model? Who's got that perfect body that I want, right? Not what media tells you, but what do you want, right? What kind of dad bod do you want? What kind of mom bod do you want? Not the one on TV, right? Not the one that's airbrushed, but like who at the gym? Can you model their workouts? Can you model their diets? Of course you can. Do you want to do it? Why? How would you feel in 10 years if you had that body? How would you feel if people came up to you and said, wow, you look better now than you did 5 years ago? That's crazy. What are you doing? And you share some things and they're like, that's really not that hard. Like, no, it's just a commitment. The hard part is committing. All right. So the first thing is what do you want? Second thing is, who can you model? All right. Now, the third part, this is where people get screwed up. This is where you're going to actually have to do the work. The third part is, are you going to do the work? Are you going to show up and go to the gym when you're tired? Are you going to go to a party and everybody's drinking and you want to drink and you're going to say no, right? Are you going to do the prospecting when the day before you got slammed on the phone all day, all night, right? Are you going to do the work no matter what, right? Are you going to pretend to do the work? Are you going to do the work or are you going to pretend? Because it's easy to pretend like we're crushing it. It's easy to put up the facade online that we're crushing it. But when shit hits the fan, are you really going to do it? Right? That's where everybody gets lost. It's easy. Okay. The first part is pretty hard too, right? Like if you actually ask 100 people, what do you want in life? They're going to tell you, oh, I want a new car. I want this. I want that. That's not what you want in life. That's what you want right now. Like, what do you want on your tombstone? That's what we got to get to, right? The second part's easy, right? Go online, type in people that have great relationships, right? Relationship coaches, type in sales coaches, right? If you need help, I got you, boo, right? Like that's what I love doing. I love helping people create sales skills, create the mindset for success. I love helping people create an enormous brand, right? Like if we can do that, we win, right? And everybody's like, oh, you only have 10K followers on this platform. You only have a couple hundred on that platform. Yeah, you're right. But to have an enormous successful brand doesn't mean you need millions and millions of followers. It means you need committed people. It doesn't take a lot, you guys. Like there's plenty of people making millions of dollars with 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers. There's a lot of people with millions of followers that don't make any money off of their following either. So just don't, what I say is don't get blinded by the Vegas lights, right? So find your mentor, find the person you can model and emulate. And third, grab your calendar and write it in. Put the gym in there. Put the prospecting in there. Put the things that you need to do. Time with family with no cell phone, right? You give your husband and wife and kids an hour a day, no cell phone. They don't need more time from you. They don't want more time from you, right? You do a date night with your spouse, your significant other, and you do some activities with your children. They are content, right? They are super content. But if you show up and you're always on your phone, you're always busy, you're never present, then they're not going to feel like you're there. And even though you are there, you're like, I'm here. They're like, you're not here, mom. You're not here, dad. You're not here, lover. You're here with your phone out. Like, you're not here. So make that commitment, right, to yourself and to the others that you're going to be present and you're going to do the work and you're going to show up for your 10-year version, right? If you could do those three things right there, that's $1 million. This is $1 million lesson. Do hard shit, put yourself in uneasy circumstances, travel the world, meet new people, push yourself to go outside of your comfort zones, and then create the life you want to create. Hey, if you like this content or if you need some help, I have the Real Estate Growth Academy. I'd love to be there for you. I'd love to be the guy in your corner that teaches you how to sell using my conscious communication method where it's not the standard forward questions. It's not the standard, find something they like and build rapport. No, it's actually how do you build a deep level of communication with these people? How do you listen effectively so that they tell you everything and you don't need to, squirm around and do all this weird stuff that salespeople and sales gurus tell you to do, right? So if you need some help and you want to improve your sales, you want to improve your brand, right? You need a group of people that are going to support you. Just send me a message and we'll get together. But otherwise, if you like this content, do me a favor, subscribe, hit the like button. I would say that most people hear these messages and they don't hit the like or the subscribe button, and I get it. I don't do it either. But if this resonates with you and you want to have a better life in 2023, 4, 5, and 2033, 43, 53, let's do it together. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.